What's going on, everybody? Josh Morris here with the Everything Paranormal Show, and I wanted to come to live tonight to you guys to talk about CreepyCon 2022. So I'm like super excited to be back home, but I'm super sad also because CreepyCon 2022 in Knoxville, Tennessee, it was a blast. Okay, overall, it was a blast. So really happy, and I wanted to share with you guys maybe some stories, some reviews. Maybe some of you haven't gone to like a paranormal type of convention. This was like a hybrid. So this was paranormal, or really like Halloween and horror. So when you get a lot of people that like horror or even Halloween type stuff, they do get into paranormal, but not always. So again, it's kind of a hybrid show, but it was really cool. So really, my relationship with CreepyCon started a few months ago when I was going to be attending and doing a panel, and then eventually it evolved to they had said, "Hey, would you mentioned in the third part of your panel, your ghost hunting panel, that you were going to be talking about some veterans in the industry. So would you mind if Kalani Ghost Hunter joins you?" So I was like, "Hey, I don't mind. No worries." And I had already wanted a few other of my friends to join me. Unfortunately, hey Terry Lynn, there's my wife. Everybody in the well, I don't know. She's over here on the comments to me. All right, but anyways, I wanted to have a few friends join my panel, and one of them couldn't make it. He was going out of town. And so another one was able to make it, and that was Brian from Black Mass Paranormal. So shout out to Brian with Black Mass Paranormal. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you again, buddy. I appreciate you coming. And it was really cool for you to add your input during the panel. And again, thank you to Kalani as well. Now, so here we are. I just want to share some stories with you guys. So they asked me to do this panel and everything, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have they asked me to have Kalani, and then so the next thing you know, I get another message later on saying, okay, your panel is gonna be Sunday at like 11 a.m. And I was just like, ugh. I was like, like I honestly at that point I was just kind of like, because like Sunday morning in Northeast Tennessee, I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? There ain't gonna be nobody there. So I actually, had messaged back to CreepyCon. I was like, hey, that's no offense, but we got like Kalani and we got Brian and myself. I mean, it's a lot of talent up there for Sunday morning. So they were like, you're right. They're like, hey, listen, we can get you in at Friday night, 7 p.m. And we can get you for a couple hours. I was like, awesome. So we went to like prime time slot. So that was really cool. Like they wanted us there, and then they were excited. And then they said, hey, how about another panel Saturday at 12? So I'm like, cool. So I called up my other buddy, and Josh with Southern Afterlife. So Josh was like, yeah, I'll do it. That sounds awesome. So then I let the CreepyCon know. And then next thing you know, okay, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. So here I am. I'm going to be a guest there, CreepyCon, and I've got two panels, right? I got Friday night and I got Saturday. And so it was really cool. And then we drive there. We arrived there on Thursday because remember, Thursday was like our load-in time, and it was such a big event. We had to be there a day early just to load up. So we get there. We have like a window that we're supposed to show up in. We show up and, we get everything. And, it's the staff. We show up. It was fairly smooth. Like we pull up. In fact, it was like almost too rushed. Like they really rushed, but which is fine. But we pull up, and they had people with carts, and they just like unloaded our car into the carts, like both of our vehicles onto the carts, and just like took us to our thing. And but it was really cool. And like I said, as soon as I even got there, the manager, Sarah, shout out to Sarah. She had met me, first thing off the bat, and was like, excited, gave me like a package, which I had our badges and everything in. So, so then Friday, we go back, we drive back, because we didn't stay the night in Knoxville. It was dumb. Friday was going to start at like, it was going to start at like 5 o'clock. Like Friday's show was like from 5 to 10 or something like that. Like they're the public, I think maybe the VIPs, I think came in at like 5:30. So, but we had set up, Terry Lynn and I had set up for the show. We were there. I had everything set up to where I could, like do meet and greet, sign any kind of books, like my books, because you guys know I always have my book. So I was signing, like autographing those, and so we had that, and then we also had brought the crystals. And you guys know that we have been talking about selling some crystals online soon, and we also have been talking about selling Terry Lynn's spirit boards online. Well, we ended up, of course, we were going to debut them there. So, excuse me, I'm still tired. It was an exhausting weekend, and today's Monday night, and I've been on my feet today. Our son was sick. He got sick this morning, so we're not sure if we. Okay, so I'm gonna cover that here in a second, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So I'm trying to walk you guys through this. Hopefully, not bore you. But anyway, so we get there, like I said, we go there Friday night. We check in our hotel, we get everything, and so we go there, and it's people start coming in, and it's really fun. And then Friday, like that night, my first panel, right? So we go up there now. I will admit, like CreepyCon, like I said, they had some new management this year. Oh God, sorry guys, I am yawning. Sorry, but I want to be here. I want to be live tonight with you guys. But they had I guess they had new management this year and things, so they were, trying to work out some kinks, whatever. That's cool. We get up there, it's like almost 7 o'clock. We're like getting ready to set up. I bring like one of my bags that had like, just some basic like ghost hunting tools. And I think I'd ask Kalani if he could bring some of his cool stuff, because he had some cool toys too, like because he has like the Ovulus stuff. He's got some other like newer device that's like an alphabet sweeping type of device. And of course he has like REM pods and stuff and things. So between his stuff and my stuff, we just wanted to show people, a variety of equipment. And so it was like me and Brian and Kalani were up there, and like nobody's there at like 7 o'clock. And I think they had announced it over the speakers, but not quite. I don't know. And it was like upstairs in this back corner, and there was like no signs on the walls that said in this room, because it was like a room. They had like these white panels up, so people didn't know if it was like an employee area. Like they didn't know. And then one of the lights overhead was out. They had thought that people were going to use the projector a lot inside the room, so they had the light unplugged, and it was like on one of those like 20-foot ceilings or something. So it just did not look inviting. People would just kind of walk back, peek into the room, and see like empty chairs, or like a little mini stage. You couldn't really see the stage from the door much. And like I said, these blank walls, like people didn't really know what it was. Was it a behind the scenes thing? So like it was like funny, like Kalani and Brian, we're all like standing outside the door, and we're almost like start turning into the old time, like, come on in, folks, come on in, like the old like circus barkers and stuff. We're like, step right up, get your ghost hunting. We're just like, I'm just going around, I'm like yelling over the balcony down to the main floor, and I'm like, ghost hunting show starting in a half hour. Like we delayed it, on purpose so we can get more people. So finally we ended up getting the show around 7:30. But we actually got a pretty good, amount of people in the room by then, and it was pretty cool. So my shout out to you guys, anybody watching that was present during that Friday night show. Thank you so much for coming to the panel. You guys were a great crowd, but it was really cool. I got to stand up there, and like I said, I had Brian on one side of me and Kalani on the other side, and we got to talk about ghost hunting and do's and don'ts and some theories and take questions and answers from people. So it was really cool. And then the next night, we go back there. Like I said, we go to the hotel, all that stuff, go back. And this time I had to be there by like 10 a.m. And this was like the big day. Like Saturday was the long day. So, we were there for a few hours. People are trickling in. What's up, ICU? So yeah, I like your new name now. It's like ICU. You had to like separate it for people now, so they understand. But anyways, so yeah, we so we get there Saturday morning, and a few hours in, I was getting ready to go do my first panel of that day. Well, oh no, let me back up. So that morning, like Sarah rushes over, and Sarah's the manager, one of the managers, and she's like, Josh, she's like, that was a really good panel last night. She's like, do you feel like doing another one? She's like, no pressure. Like, do you feel like doing another panel? Like, I was like, oh, like a third one? And she's like, yeah, like you at 4:30. And I'm like, all right. I told Terry Lynn, I was like, well, because Terry Lynn was a little nervous, because there was quite a few people on Friday, and she's not the salesman type of person, like the talkative type of person. So for her, it's like she's trying to man like the booth along with our son, and she's just nervous. But by the end, though, she was like a pro. So don't let her fool you. Terry Lynn did great. So, and yes, she sold her first spirit board on the first day. She teared up, cried. And yes, honey, I was going to cover the boards. Don't worry. I'm just going over like a general review of kind of the itinerary type stuff. So Sarah asked me, she's like, can you do another panel at 4:30? I was like, oh man. So I sold, not I've. Anyways, so I don't know. I'm sure she's going to say something about trying to take credit for herself or something. I don't know. Just mess with it. Yes, you sold your first board. It was awesome, baby. And I'm gonna talk about your boards. I will. Okay. I sold. Yeah, I sold. Oh, not I've. Oh yeah. I get you. Well, I already knew what you meant. So, okay. So anyway, so I had to go to the panel, but it was actually at 1:00. They had moved it from 12 to 1. And then and that was like spirit communication with Josh from a Southern Afterlife. So we went up there, we had a pretty decent little crowd. We did a few dowsing rod sessions. So it's really cool. And we ended up like talking on the dowsing rod session. We actually did get a hold of somebody, so it was really cool for the crowd. Whenever the people that get to go to these panels or shows and paranormal activity starts to happen, it's really cool. But yeah, we ended up talking to a female that was accidentally killed, and she was in her 20s, and apparently it was at the zoo. Now, I didn't know some of these circumstances. Like, as I was getting answers through the dowsing rods, one of the members in the audience, she said, I'm hearing something in my mind. She was like, I'm hearing something about zoo. So I asked, I said, did you die at the zoo? And it was like a yes. Well, apparently, and then later on, another audience member came up and said, I think that woman that passed away, or there was an elephant trainer that accidentally got stampled, or not stampled, trampled. Sorry. but yeah, I think there was a woman, an elephant trainer, like in her 20s, that was accidentally killed fairly recently at the Knoxville Zoo. So it actually matched up. It was pretty wild to have that happen. And then my 4:30 show, um, it was kind of like, it was crazy because it was really busy, it was Saturday afternoon. Josh and Brian from Black Mass Paranormal and even Kalani, they're all busy doing their thing. I mean, I couldn't be like, hey, can you guys rip away too? And so I just went up and I did one myself. I did a show myself. I talked about ghost hunting and, I did some spirit communication. And we actually ended up talking to an elderly female that ended up being the grandmother of someone in the audience. It was really cool. So we had some really good show, like panels there at CreepyCon. And of course, we finished out Sunday with just, again, signing autographs, meet and greets, doing sales, like with the thing. So here's the website. You guys can see here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did, like with Terry Lynn's spirit boards. I know a lot of you saw some of the debut of her boards online. I showed you guys, but you can see here, this was the CreepyCon, and this is the CreepyCon 22. And you can see, of course, these were the dates and times. They had the VIP passes. It was pretty neat. Like, I couldn't remember the last place I was at if they had VIPs, but it was pretty neat because like a half hour before, the VIPs got to go through and they had the badges on and they said VIP and stuff. And like I don't know if there was anything special I was supposed to do for them, because in all honesty, Terry Lynn and I, we really, our focus was just to give people a good experience when they came and met with us. I wanted them to walk away with a positive experience and just, make it a little memorable somehow, and Terry Lynn and I did great at that. Um, and I do say Terry Lynn and I because she really was, if you guys had a chance to go there, you would have got to finally meet the Terry Lynn that you all know in chat. And that's been on the show like one time or twice, maybe. So you'd have gotten to meet her. And like I said, and she, a lot of times, and I'll tell you more about the sales here in a second, but yeah, I'm just scrolling through here. Of course, upcoming events is no longer there. And you can see all the different vendors. And I'm going to talk about a particular vendor. But there was a lot of great vendors. I will tell you, we met a lot of great vendors. So that's why I'm kind of letting a lot of this scroll. And I apologize to a lot of the vendors that were there. So if you're a vendor that was there and I didn't come over and talk to you, I apologize, but I didn't get to make many rounds. And when I did get to kind of walk around just for a quick little bit, I think on Sunday or something, I kind of had to like hurry up and walk. I just didn't get to do much stop and look. So I kind of like took things in, but I just didn't get a chance to really like stop at a lot of booths. So let's see here. And guys, if my voice starts getting a little shaky, that's because, again, I'm still recovering. So here we go. Here's the guests. I'm going to start up here. We had the cast and crew of the Night of the Living Dead 2022. Now, they weren't there Friday, but they did show up Saturday. And I think they were there Sunday, at least some of them. I think I remember. We met a few of them there that were coming around. I think a lot of these people ended up buying stuff from us too. It's really cool. But the one girl and her boyfriend were really nice. We really enjoyed them. They were really nice people. They came over and bought some crystals and stuff from us, but very nice people, all in all. We had the indie horror filmmaker over here, Michael Wade Johnson. I had a few talks with him. It was really nice, with him having a lot more experience in making independent films, and I'm getting into filmmaking. It was really nice to have a little bit of conversation with him. But he actually was there most all the time. Like, he was probably one of the other celebrities guests or the other guests that was there almost the whole time. Okay, are we back? All right, somebody let me know. Are we back online? Can you hear me? Okay. So guys, all right. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm running through here. I'll get back. I don't know where we left off, but I'll get back and just touch a little bit on the filmmaker. Um Again, I'm going to but yeah, I got to meet him, and like I said, he did a lot more like film stuff. So anytime you can meet people that are doing what you want to do, it's a good chance. But I got to talk to him just a little bit. Really, pretty decent guy. Kalani Smith, he actually was next to us. Again, you know, he was a paranormal investigator, and he's big on TikTok. All right. Jeff Gaither. I had a chance to meet him in the beginning. He does a lot of artwork for like Misfits and Guns N' Roses and Van Halen and all kinds of stuff. The guy, legendary artist. And I got to shake hands and meet him on the first day, but I didn't get to like do a whole lot of talking with him. Unfortunately, like I said, once everybody started coming in, like the 2.5 days was just full of like meeting people, and a lot of the special guests, a lot of us couldn't really leave the booths much. James Dashner, who is an author, he was selling books there. I didn't see him a whole lot. And of course there was a cancellation there. The aerial artists, they were actually in the celebrity block area in the middle of the floor doing some beautiful routines. And I didn't really get to watch a whole lot, but it made her choke up and almost come to tears a few times. So the Knoxville aerial arts, I'm sure Terry Lynn would love to say, great job. You guys were awesome. And I think she even told him that anyways. The improv troupe, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't really get to see them. They might have been on the main stage. And same thing with the Dr. Finnegan Circus. So the Oddities Museum, again, didn't really see these people. The burlesque, some of these were stage shows, Tinderbox Circus show. And we had the voice actor. Now she was there like about half the time, I think, maybe. And she had to move because they had this really annoying kind of guillotine thing going on. So sorry, guillotine guys. It was pretty cool in theory, but then when it's right there indoors, anyway. The Cubster cosplay photography. I think I seen him, but I didn't really get a chance to meet. And then this guy down here, Josh Morris, paranormal investigator, actor, and author. Really cool guy. But his wife was even nicer. So, but anyway, so yeah. So that's some of what I did. So let's see here. We'll just drop that down for now. But yeah, listen. So I want to now I want to backtrack a little bit, and I want to talk really about like what Terry Lynn and I went through there at CreepyCon, and sort of the affirmation. So as you guys know, look, I'm not a huge celebrity. I have my shows, and I've been gaining a lot of popularity here lately. I am an international selling author. I mean, there is a certain amount of things to me, but I'm very humble, and I don't really like to brag. And Terry Lynn's the same way. She's very shy, humble at times, And I will say this, like, in my opinion, from based on what I've seen and the feedback that we got, I would say this without I risk. I don't want to burn any bridges out there, so don't take this wrong. Anybody that any of these celebrity guests, don't take this wrong, but I really think that, I mean, I'm not talking about the stage acts. I'm talking about right there in the celebrity block area where we were. I would say we may not have been the most popular, but I would say that we were probably one of the more memorable people to meet there, if that makes sense. So hold on, we got Terry Lynn's calling me here, and so you're on speakerphone.
Well, your screen is half and half right now. You still got that computer screen up.
Oh, I know. I just kind of shrunk it down a little.
Well, I know, but you got two different backgrounds now.
No, I know. That's fine. I mean, I'll just go full if you want. I love you. Okay, so all right. So, anyways, see, my wife's always the producer behind the scenes. That's what makes us unique. But no, I mean, and what I mean by that is, folks, is like, again, don't take me wrong, but there was some of the personalities there. They kind of sat there and talked, and they were, some of them were always approachable at times. And the nice thing about my wife and I is that we were engaging people. Like when people walk by or come around the corner, I'm just like trying to greet people, like, hey, how you doing? And they would come over and talk to me, and sometimes they would buy stuff from us. And when they did buy stuff from us, a lot of times I was like giving them like these autographed necklace type things that I had. And Terry Lynn was like, sometimes she would give like some of the little crystals or little things to some of the little kids. And we just tried to make experiences with people that we talked to. We tried to make them special, and that's what I loved about being there for those 2.5 days, was just being able to talk to people, meet people, and them come to me and talk with me and walk away with hopefully a better experience, or a positive experience. And it seemed like we achieved that a lot. Now right next to us, the way Celebrity Block is, it's like row, and then there's a cross, like in the middle there's like the aerial arts, and then in the other side there's a row of booths. But then like where we're like at the end of one of the rows, so like across the aisle, kind of like facing us, and we're facing away, like but anyways, but okay. Sorry. So across from us we had Fantasy Realm Art. And so again, I just got everything back up and running. Oh, and speaking of which, in the chat is Annie. Hey, how's it going, Annie? We're just actually getting ready to talk about you guys. So we're just summarizing our experiences at CreepyCon, and But again, across the way, we had Fantasy Realm art, and guys, I would say, and there's going to be quite a bit to talk about in this sense, because one, not only does Patrick do amazing work, it's Patrick and Annie, and but Patrick makes these amazing art pieces, and I got to tell you, he donated some prints to us to give away on the channel. So I will be announcing that very soon, and we're going to be doing some giveaways from Fantasy Realm art coming up. So guys, you're not going to want to miss that for sure. But what I wanted to get at was we had established over that 2.5 days that we were doing CreepyCon a genuine friendship. Like, these were genuine people. You meet other, like, either special guests or vendors or just people in general at these events, and you get that range. You get that range of like people, and a lot of people are there just to make money and move on, and they're just like they'll talk, and they're kind of like, oh, but it's almost like a club sometimes with the vendors, and it's like, if you're not like, they'll talk, but if they kind of know, and some know each other, they kind of been on the circuit together. But it's so cool that there's just certain people that, and maybe it was fate that they were there and their booth was right by ours. But again, such genuine people. And I got to tell you this. I got to tell this quick story too. So we're like, Terry Lynn and I we're focused on, I had done panels, like I had done the shows there. We were selling, Terry Lynn was selling her spirit boards and crystals, and we're just busy, busy. And then, like, somewhere along the line, like around Sunday afternoon, I think it was, we get a text. We each get a text from my mom saying, "Happy anniversary." Love you. And we're both like, and of course, Terry Lynn caught it first. And she was like, your mom just texted me. It's like it's our anniversary. And I'm like, we had gotten so focused and busy on Paracon or CreepyCon that we didn't even think about that. So it was so funny. And we were just like, so, we kiss and hug, whatever. And of course, Annie and Patrick from Fantasy Realm, they had heard about it. They had overheard us very loudly, as we always are. But then, like, next thing you know, Patrick, like, they bring over this freaking big, Nightmare Before Christmas, artwork. And he signs it on the back. It's like, happy anniversary and everything. The thing was amazing. And like I said, I mean, it was just this amazing gift. Such, again, awesome people. They really are. And there's more on that too. So, but I could talk a lot about these guys, and I will. We'll be talking more, probably even this Thursday on there. Also, oh yeah, Terry Lynn wanted me to tell you guys also about the Spider-Man. So, like, when you get this type of event, you're gonna have, like, is that the donation sound?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I'm gonna give you guys like a tease.
Yeah, you need to show some of his artwork. It's amazing. Because
this is some of the donations. All right, let me just show you some of the donations we're gonna be giving away. All right, so look at this. Yeah, look at that print. That is badass. Look at that. Love it. I'll set that right there. Look at that. Yeah. Now, you might not be able to see, obviously, the green screen is kind of cutting out a little bit of the green. All right. I can't show this one. There's one that's it's got some nudity. But look at this one. Oh my god, this one. Yes. It's just amazing artwork, guys. And I've got there's some more. There's a few more, but I'm gonna save those. I'm gonna save those for another show. Okay. But again, such talented artist. And like he's also one of those guys that like will work on a painting. Like I believe he was working on, was it a Nosferatu painting, I believe? Anyways, just talented artist. And we're gonna be giving away some of those prints. Sorry, guys. And I'm really sorry about my internet tonight. I don't know what's going on. Normally, my show is not this bad with cutting out. But yeah, Terry Lynn got an Eric Draven, from The Crow. She got one from there. And so, anyways, and then I get home after everything, and then my wife surprised me with a Bruce Lee. Apparently, this was behind my back, but it was gorgeous. And so and Spider-Man. So Spider-Man, because again, we're at this CreepyCon and there is actors, people doing cosplay and stuff like that. But we come across a guy dressed as Spider-Man, and he's thin, well dressed, like it was a good looking Spider-Man. And I'll tell you what, so I see him, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, look, honey, Spider-Man. And this is like the one few time that I got to walk around with my wife. We left our son there, man, in the booth, selling some crystals, whatever. And, so this is like the one time, and then she was like, oh my God, and so she just like went right to Spider-Man's like, you need to come down to our booth right now for my son. Like she didn't even care. She just like grabbed Spider-Man, and we just start going across the the convention. It's so great. So we finally get there and surprise our son. Let's see if I show you guys. Maybe I can show you guys this picture. So yeah, and of course behind the booth in the background, that's actually fantasy art or fantasy realm art there. You can see Patrick to the right. But yeah, there's Christian and Spidey. So again, a very awesome picture with Spider-Man. Like I said, and this guy had all the poses too. Like some poses we saw him with when the kids wanted to take pictures of him, he would do the where he like would squat down and do the like almost like where like the hanging from the web type poses. But he had the poses down. Of course, he was very thin, very athletic for that was awesome. So really cool. So yeah, we got to do that. Well, then my son, of course, he loves Spider-Man, and of course, Fantasy Realm Art, Patrick and Annie over there. Patrick overheard it, or when he witnessed everything, he ends up giving him a signed piece of art of Spider-Man. I was like, dude, these people are so amazing. So again, when you meet genuine people at things like this, but it wasn't even just the fact that they were just giving us stuff. I mean, just talking with them and having genuine conversation. And it wasn't like that surface level type of talk. And that's what I love. So again, props to Fantasy Realm Art. Guys, love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next convention that we're gonna. And I'll let you know where we're gonna be. Because I don't know, we won't go to as many as you, that's for sure. But I'll let you know when we're gonna go to one. Maybe you'll be there. All right. So I do want to talk a little bit more about, and then I'm going to hop off here. I just wanted to kind of get on here tonight. I know I'm ending up doing like a full blown show by myself, but it's I just wanted to get on here and really just give you guys my thoughts and overall opinions on CreepyCon. Again, what I like too is that the staff, right? The staff, yeah, I told them about what happened with the anniversary gift. Yeah, I did tell that story, honey. You must not have been hearing it on that one. but yeah, I told the story. So, but anyways, what was I gonna say now? See, I was trying to keep up with the comments by myself. I don't have Stacy with me here tonight. Stacy will probably be with me Thursday, of course, during a normal show. But but yeah, I wanted to say that, Terry Lynn. Terry Lynn was a huge help, but not just a huge help. She was a main part of this. Even though I was there as a special guest for my show and the books, but again, she is part of the crew. She's my wife. She's my best friend, soulmate. But she also was selling her boards, and she got a ton of compliments about her boards. People loved her boards. She started selling them. We only came home with a few of them. And the few that we had left, people really wanted them. There was some people that really wanted them, but just ran out of money, and they were just all right, guys. So, anyways, guys, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna end the stream right now because apparently the internet is for some reason tonight being stupid. And so we'll talk more though. We got a few more stories and we got a few more stories to discuss. Like I said, because Terry Lynn, she did amazing with her boards and everything. It was just a great experience all around. Again, I could talk about it all night, but guys, with my internet going in and out like this, I'm sorry. I'll just have to figure out what's going on with their internet. So hopefully we'll have it fixed by Thursday. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And remember, seek the truth.